Hello, my name is Mike B.F. Canonatello, and today I'm going to be answering a question posed to me by my English 1102 professor. Essentially, I was asked to identify a problem or exigency within a community that I belong to. I play a fighting game series known as Super Smash Bros, and I belong to the Chicagoland Super Smash Bros community. It didn't take me long to realize that I could produce a piece that details some of the common issues that players face in the community. After mulling over some common problems I believe that players face, I eventually decided to go after a more personal issue that I believe could affect more individuals than just myself. I found my answer in my attitude towards the game. When Ultimate released, I had initially seen this game as a new chance to see how far I could push myself in a competitive environment. After 9 months of playing and seeing some moderate results, my motivation for wanting to get better as a player began to wane, and I was beginning to question, why do people play this game? In questioning my own motives, I found my issue that I felt any Super Smash Bros. Competitor could relate to. I believe that every competitor at some point in their career hits a wall where eventually they begin to question their reasoning for wanting to dedicate so much time into a video game. So with this piece, I would like to address the question, why do competitors play Super Smash Bros? So what is Smash? For the uninitiated, all this talk surrounding mentality and motivations for wanting to play what is initially just a simple children's party game may seem a bit contrived. Super Smash Bros. Is more than just a game to some people. It was created in 1999 by Masahiro Sakurai, who had initially developed the game as Dragon King the fighting game. It used basic polygon figures and a percent-based damage system, and would have probably been considered a golden gem in the overall lifespan of the Nintendo 64. However, the story goes that Sakurai created an unsanctioned version of Dragon King, instead substituting the generic fighters for a small lineup of Nintendo's All-Stars. The early version of the game saw Mario, Donkey Kong, Samus, and Fox duking it out. This received approval, and Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 saw its release on April 26, 1999 in the United States. 20 years and 4 sequels later, Super Smash Bros. Has grown to become one of the most recognizable and largest fighting game series to have ever been created. The game essentially boils down to a king of the hill, where competitors fight to stay within the box of the television screens, or else face losing a life. Lose your allotted amount of lives, and the game is over. But what about tournaments? Tournaments represent everything that there is to the Smash Bros. Community. They're where players congregate to determine who amongst the crowd is the best player in the room. Tournaments can range anywhere from smaller local brackets of around 20 to upwards of 3,000 entrants for major events. They're what makes Super Smash Bros. So unique. Super Smash Bros. Is a game best enjoyed in person, seated next to them in a real physical world. It creates a connection between individuals that can rarely be felt in other environments. Every interaction that occurs in-game acts almost like a silent conversation, where in-game actions speak much louder than words ever could. The human element of Super Smash Bros. Is a large attractor as to why so many individuals play. So what happens in-game? In bracket, 2 competitors sit down next to each other and compete in 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5 game sets to determine a victor between the two. The game becomes as much of a physical battle as skill, as much as a mental struggle between 2 players looking for any opening that their opponent will yield to them. The combo system is a free flow, abandoning the chain-like button sequences of other fighting games that allow for a person to combo an opponent in whatever fashion they so desire. It is one of the primary creative aspects of the game that draws in so many players. So breaking it down, essentially, I took this project and converted it into a mission to find different competitors from all across the Chicago Super Smash Bros. Scene, and asked them to share their thoughts on their own motivations for wanting to play this game. I boiled this question down into 2 different segments, the first and more obvious of the 2 being, why do you play Super Smash Bros? I was not prepared for the diversity and the amount of answers that I received from each of the competitors. The second aspect I was looking to cover was around what I considered to be my primary roadblock and my own reasoning for playing the game. I wanted to know what their opinions on how players should view their own mentality towards the game. This resulted in responses with both in and out of game connotations. So getting into things here, why do players play Smash? Simply put, it's fun. Smash is definitely considered a game that is easy enough to pick up and play with friends, but difficult when it comes to the competitive side of the game. As I mentioned earlier, my mission is to explore why competitors play Smash. What makes a player want to delve into the competitive scene? Fun and a childhood history of playing the game were by far one of the most common catalysts for picking up the game in the first place.
And we're back at Fighting Gameworks. I'm here with the tournament organizer, actually. Sir, what is your name and tag?
My name is Rick. My tag is Rickles.
Alright, so tell me, Rickles, why do you play Super Smash Bros.?
I've played every iteration of it since like 1999. I found out about the competitive scene in 2015, so I've been competing for at this point, I think 5 years.
5 years.
15, 16, 17, 18, yeah. So over 5 years competing, over 3 years of organizing events.
I'm here with another competitor at College DuPage. Sir, what is your name and tag?
Ryan McDonough, Raven King.
Raven King. This man is probably the best Smash Ultimate player at this school currently. So tell me, sir, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
Because I think it's a very fun game, and I enjoy it so much. I've been competing for 4 years.
Really, 4 years. That's quite impressive. What game did you get your start in?
Smash 4.
Smash 4? Absolutely. And I'm back with another competitor. Sir, please tell me, what is your name and tag?
All right, hi, I'm Jonathan Wright, also known as Ronan.
Ronan, so tell me, man, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
Well, so once I got out of college, I was kind of looking for a new hobby. I had more time. I'd always played Smash as a kid, and I wanted to, I'd been watching some, competitive stuff, and when Ultimate came out, I wanted to see what I could do, and I'm really loving it. It's been super fun.
Hello, and I'm here with another competitor at Poplar Creek Bowl, Back Throw Thursdays. Sir, what is your name and your tag?
My name is Brandon. Most people probably know me as Buffoon, assuming they know me in the first place.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, my man, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
I grew up on video games, particularly Nintendo and Sega, so when N64 came out, Aunt Rinsa, Super Smash Bros. Had like our favorite characters, Mario, Link, Kirby. Of course, me and my brother are all about that.
Yeah.
Most every competitor played the game in some capacity growing up, but that is just a catalyst for wanting to play this game. Another common response I got was using the game as an outlet, being able to channel energy into something creative and competitive. It provides players an opportunity to kick out the troubles of the world and just focus on one thing, and that's getting ready for your next match.
I'm here at the GameWorks Weekly Arcadian with another competitor. Sir, what is your name and tag?
My name is Milan. My tag is Milu.
Milu, thank you for talking. So tell me, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
Well, I started as a little kid, and after college, I just needed something to channel my competitiveness, and that's what happened. 7 years of wrestling, some powerlifting, and now I just needed something.
I'm here with the player. Player, what's your name?
My name is Matt, but most people just call me by Matt Beach, which is kind of like my full name, like my tag that I enter with tournaments with.
Absolutely. All right, Matt. So tell me, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
I play Super Smash Bros. Because I feel like it's the one, it's like the one big esport where I can really express myself and like how I want to play like video games.
Okay.
Because there's a sort of free form in your movement compared to like other fighting games like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
Absolutely.
There's a certain form of free form that allows you to be much more flexible with your play style. Even if you're playing similar to other players, no two people play alike, which I think is the really cool thing about the game.
I'm back at Fighting Game Wars with another competitor. Sir, please tell me what your name and tag is.
My name is Harrison, and my tag is Ford.
Ford, very good to see you again, Ford. So tell me, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
So I play Smash because it relieves my stress. Like after a long day at school, I want to have fun with friends that I know in the community, and playing and winning, even losing, getting better at the game is very good stress relief.
Another strong feeling felt by the community was this idea of personal growth or progression. With players willing to put in countless hours into this game, it's always encouraging to see some form of reward for being so dedicated. Every now and again, I'll go back and watch old replay footage from years in the past, and I'll see my own progressions with the game. And seeing one's own progression from going 0-2 in pools to eventually growing into a somewhat competent player capable of taking sets can be one of the most satisfying feelings in the world. And it's a mindset commonly shared by members of the community.
And we're back at the DePaul Friday Weekly. I'm here with another competitor. Sir, what is your name and tag?
My name's Joe Picorni, and I go by the tag Ego.
Ego. All right. So tell me, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
I really like the competitive aspect of it. There's a lot of different ways to play the game. There's a lot of stuff to learn, and so it's more of like the feeling of progressing and just kind of rising the ranks. That's really fun to me.
All right. So I'm here with another competitor. What's your name and tag, sir?
My name is Justin Marquez, and people call me by Seeker. And this is just it takes up my time for one, and I'm happy to learn, see self-improvement over time.
Yeah.
It just feels satisfying knowing that you learn something, and it like because of that you're progressing, getting higher in tournaments and whatnot, even sometimes even winning it.
Exactly, and that personal progression is a lot of people's motivation for getting into the game. All right, so I'm here with another competitor. Sir, what's your name and tag?
My name is Jacob, and my tag is Nobody B.
Nobody B. All right, Mr. B. So tell me, why do you play Super Smash Bros?
Well, I started playing Smash Bros because I realized that I sort of was like good at the game around my friend group, and then when I started going to tournaments, I knew I had to get better, and it was sort of the thing that I wanted to get better at the game. And after that, it was just the community, and like everyone in the community is super cool.
I mean, for me, it's all about improvement. You know, results can come and go. The reason I play Smash, the reason I enjoy it is because it gives me this opportunity to improve and grow. Every time I come to a tournament, every time I play friendlies, I gain an opportunity to learn more and become a better player. And that's what really draws me to Smash and fighting games in general.
Community is key. These feelings of growth and progression are fueled by one of Super Smash Bros.' greatest underlying flaws. It can be really difficult to play online. Other esports have fantastic online capabilities which enable communities to form teams of players from all over the globe in a moment's notice and play with each other. However, these esports are reliant on that online setting and often lose face-to-face interaction that is required to compete in Super Smash Bros. Tournaments. You're not just sitting down to play a set and exiting a lobby. You're talking to another person. After a set, you can ask for on-the-spot advice that most players are more than happy to give, and over time, friendships and rivalries start to develop. People play Smash competitively as much for the community interaction and the opportunity that it provides to connect with others over a shared hobby as much as competing any day. This is absolutely one of the primary reasons for why individuals play this game.
I'm here at the DePaul tournament with another competitor. Sir, what is your name and tag?
My name is Michael Leone, and my tag is Ranger Mike.
Ranger Mike, good to see you, good to see you. So tell me, why do you play Super Smash Brothers?
I'd probably say that the community. I come from a Melee background, and it's just like seeing. I've made so many friends in this scene, and it's just been a huge positive factor in my life.
Why do I play Smash Bros? It's really fun, and it's given me a lot of good experiences, such as traveling. I've been able to travel to a lot of places.
Absolutely, and you mentioned travel. Where has this game been able to take you?
Just last month, I was in California. This weekend, I'll be in St. Louis. I've been to Michigan like 6 times last year and a couple times this year. I've been able to go to Virginia, Las Vegas, Canada. Toronto, Canada was like the biggest one this year. So I've been able to just go to a lot of places, and a lot of it, a couple of those trips were funded by the community, which is really cool. So I've been able to meet a lot of people through that.
And I'm back at Fighting Gamers with another competitor. Sir, what is your name and tag?
My name is Odell, aka Psychedelic.
Psychedelic.
Especially the amount of opportunities like fighting game communities have, like just having tournaments and like weeklies and stuff like that. It let you connect with the community. Not a lot of games let you connect with the community the way fighting game communities I feel like do.
Absolutely, because most of the fighting games, playing them online, there will always be that few frames of net lag. The net code might be bad. Smash Bros is a perfect example of that. Trying to play that game online is like trying to play through molasses.
Honestly, you're playing on a toaster at that point, man. It's like I don't understand.
The community vibe. How do you feel, especially at this Ignition? How do you feel it is here?
The vibe of the community is actually, it's super nice. Like, there hasn't been any times that I can remember at all that, like, I haven't been like, oh, you're pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Let's be friends, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there hasn't been anyone that I'm just like, I want to stay away from that guy. It's all been, like...
positive?
Yeah, it's super cool.
So why do competitors play Super Smash Bros.? The sense of unity and community interaction, along with nostalgia, growth, and creativity, all compact into an outstanding experience for any community member. However, I want to know competitors' thoughts on what mentality a Super Smash Bros. Competitor should take towards the game. Personally, I consider mentality to be at the forefront behind why players play the game. Learning as to what mindset a player needs to take when looking at the game competitively can help us better understand a competitor's motivations for wanting to play the game. So mentality, just how important is it? The unanimous decision, very important. When I'm talking about mentality, I'm talking about a player's resolve. I'm curious to see how players prepare mentally for their sets. I'm in a situation where I'm in a bad matchup that I don't know. How can I communicate to this person that I'm not just going to simply bend to their will as they set up their game plan? How am I going to react when I get hit by an option that I never knew even existed? It's by far one of the most difficult things to develop, but over time a player's mentality can bend and change as they go through different stages in their career.
How do you feel about mentality surrounding Super Smash Bros?
It's extremely important. Too many matches I've lost due to bad mentality. Just maybe over nervousness about losing to a player I know I could beat, getting annoyed for no reason. Just being sane while you play will go a long way.
So what are your thoughts on mentality?
Mentality is very important, especially in a tournament setting. I've seen players who would normally play like at 100% in a friendly, under tournament nerves would probably play at like 40 to 60% if we're talking about like efficiency. It's definitely something people need to learn how to do. It just more comes with like getting used to the pressure of like being watched, having pressure of these people that like you're trying to beat for a very long time, and like you're getting close, your hands get shaky. Keeping that under control is really important.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because I've seen a lot of players fall down because of the mentality. Like a lot of players have like one thing problem with the community is a lot of people have like
self-confidence issues.
Yeah, for one, and kind of just stops your gameplay. Kind of stops you from growing as a person and a player. And that's one thing that I wish all players did understand, because it's a hard thing.
Yeah.
Like, because emotions take over your gameplay, no matter how you look at it. When you're angry, you start playing a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
When you're calm and collective, you start thinking more. You start saying what's good and what's not, and how can you keep doing that throughout the game.
Absolutely.
I feel like being alert for like a fighting game should be like a definite like thing you need to do, just because you're dealing with a lot of it's just action. It's you got to be ready for combos. You got to be ready for the block strings, all that jazz. I say as long as you're attentive and your mindset is to have fun and like the end. I know there's a lot of since we're in a lot of tournaments and stuff like that, a lot of weeklies, we're looking for like the win.
Yeah.
But like in the long run, you're not gonna win everything. But as long as you have the learning experience and like you are ready to adapt to whatever situation you're in, I think that's all that's needed.
Never call it a comeback. Having a positive mindset is all good and dandy. However, it's those situations where the odds are stacked against your favor, where a player's mentality is truly put to the test. Those particular situations are where every option you're currently trying is being read like a book by the opponent, and the only option left is whatever trick there is remaining in that said book. Keeping a positive mindset can be difficult during dark times in a set. However, a mindset of perseverance seems to be a common theme amongst players.
How do you feel mentality affects a player playing Super Smash Bros?
Mentality is a lot of things because it's a 1v1 scenario. If you're thinking about like what you just did bad and you're upset about it, you're not really thinking how to adapt or improve.
Yeah.
So then you're just going to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. So having a clear mental game is probably one of the most important aspects of actually winning.
Oh, mentality's huge. I honestly sometimes think it's more important than the technical skill. Because if you are perfectly precise, but if you are getting mad or if you are not into it or if you wish you played a different character that day or for that game, you're gonna lose, unless if you can turn it around.
Well, not only have I been competing for 5 years, I also played a character, Ganondorf, who in Smash for Wii U was considered like a bottom 3 character, and in this game he's still considered like at the bottom of the 70 character cast. So playing a character with that many like losing like attributes, like you have to go into like a hard mentality. You have to go in confident. Otherwise, if you play at your opponent's pace, they're just gonna run over you. So to be able to like compete in tournament, you got to be able to play against like a lot of different audiences, like go to different weeklies, go to different monthlies, go to different regionals.
The thing is, like, you have to kind of tell yourself, like, stuff is gonna happen. Not everything's gonna go your way, especially in game when like literally anything can happen. Like, you can like lose your stocks really quickly. But for one, it's like staying positive, because I literally had like this tournament and like my last one I went to DePaul. There was like 50 players. I got top 8. I got 5th place out of 33. And the whole time I was telling myself was like, just keep going. Just understand yourself and understand the game, and then just keep going. It's telling self-improvement.
Just keep going and pushing yourself further and further with the game.
It's confidence. It's like, is that what you need to be good at this game?
Everyone has their own way. Ultimately, a player can receive all the tips in the world, but when it comes down to it, this is a single player game. Whatever occurs is affected solely by the individual playing in the set. This means that a player has to be able to rely on themselves, no matter the situation. Everyone has their own ideas as to what works for them, so let's take a look at some of the more interesting responses I received when I asked players about their mentality.
So mentality, like any competitive game in general, like in those 7-8 minutes, you're fighting for your life and you're trying to win, where the opponent's also fighting for their life. So you have to have that mentality of how do I beat this person who's trying to beat me? Kind of like in a medieval sense back in the day, you're fighting to live. It's kind of like that, but we're doing it in a modern day way, playing a
Absolutely.
game to see, best survives, the fittest.
Well, I think that one of the craziest parts about Melee is that like if you stop practicing for like around like 2 or 3 days, then and you go to a tournament like after that, you're just going to get mollywopped. Like you need to constantly be like you just need to constantly be like improving your game, just labbing out like new things for the character, and just like you always need to bring new things to the table like every single tournament, and it's like super cool.
How do you feel about mentality when it comes to Super Smash Bros?
Mentality, what I wanted to say is that you want to keep it as something you're passionate about. If you love the game and you're very passionate about it, just keep playing it. That's how you keep moving forward with it.
Absolutely, that passion is just something that you can build on more and more, and if it becomes oriented around something else, it just becomes more or less a job or a hassle to you, honestly.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
They think that when they start to lose against a certain player, that means that they need to pick other characters.
Okay.
Which that's not usually how things should be. Sometimes it's best to just learn the matchup with the character, even if it's losing by just a little bit.
Mhm.
Just learning that one matchup with your main character can be like 100 times easier than picking up an entirely new character.
Absolutely.
To win against that. So I guess that kind of goes with the whole theme of like keeping a mental comeback in mind.
Absolutely.
Knowing that like even if you're down or if you don't understand what your opponent's doing, you're still playing the same game.
Absolutely.
There's still like technically a way to win, even if you're playing against the best of the world. So I think that's a big thing that people should be applying more to their mentality.
Today, we took a dive into why competitors play Super Smash Bros. And got the opportunity to take a peek behind the curtain about a player's mentality towards the game. In our journey today, we heard from 15 different competitors on their thoughts as to why they play, and I'd like to take these next few minutes to discuss exactly why I play Super Smash Bros. So, growing up, I played Smash on and off with friends just like everybody else. After a while, I started playing Brawl casually, and eventually that led me to Casual Project M, a modded version of Brawl that made the mechanics essentially more like Melee. I played my first tournament the day that Project M version 3.6 launched, and I ended up going 1 and 2 in my first tournament. That would be my last Project M tournament for a while, and I was somewhat active in Smash 4 in the Chicago scene, but not really. I would proceed to go regularly 0-2 for a while, and this included going to Dismantle 2, which was my first large Smash regional. Fast forward a couple years, and my career really started to see a rise in skill level with my arrival at Illinois State University. In my time there, I managed to make an appearance on their power rankings for a 1-year stint, starting at number 10 and peaking at number 9 the following semester. A little bit of growth, but better than nothing. After transferring home, I began to dive deeper into the Chicago Smash scene and started to compete more regularly. After competing all summer and seeing moderate results, I began to start losing focus as to why I was even playing the game. Tournaments started to lose their appeal to me, and I began to slow down with how frequently I wanted to compete in tournaments. Enter this project. It provided me an opportunity to get out and talk with others regarding a subject that I was beginning to struggle with myself. Why exactly am I playing this game? Well, for starters, it's fun. There's no denying that. The reason I play Smash is that it allows me to have fun and experiment with different solutions to an ever-changing puzzle that is competing in a tournament. Every single opponent, every single set is a different lock that I have to spend 2 to 3 games picking at until I break through and unlock it, or break myself and allow it to beat me. Reading an opponent, knowing what they're going to do next, and punishing them for selecting that option is a very satisfying feeling. Being able to make that correct read in a situation where the gamble may cost you the set, the feeling is priceless. It's those priceless moments that draw me into the game, and being able to share those moments with my friends and fellow competitors in a group where everyone is always looking to see the next person improve makes it even better. That's what draws everybody together. So, to bring this presentation to a close, and to finally answer the question as to why competitors play Super Smash Bros., I'd like to think that individuals play Super Smash Bros. Because of the sense of unity that it produces. It's people coming together from all walks of life to progress through a competitive environment. Everybody is out here making an attempt to be the best player they can be, and it creates a unique sense of camaraderie, to build and grow yourself with like-minded individuals with similar goals. The idea that everyone is working together and challenging each other to get better is what I believe truly drives people to play this game. At the end of the day, it's a mashup video game loaded to the teeth with iconic characters from everyone's childhood. It's wickedly fun and a series that can be considered as deep as the sea. I fully and wholeheartedly believe that Super Smash Bros. Players play the game because of how the community has been allowed to grow together. And as the years continue to go on, our controllers will continue to chime on as we as a community continue to enjoy the game that we all help build to what it represents today.